Hello, on this Monday, June 10th. It looks like I may have lost a couple. Maybe not. These we had some very hot days and things were drying out. I thought, but I moved them over here, started watering them. But for the past week, we've had a lot of rain here in South Carolina. So I've not needed to water anything. These are hot peppers, but you see the rain has beaten some of these seedlings down. Oops. That one has a potato in there. This one was the mother plant. Yeah, that one wasn't rotting anyway. And I put the vines over there, so there's no potatoes in there yet. And this is an experiment to see how they'll grow in these tubs. These are actually bus pans, if you've not seen the previous videos. Those are the purple gladiolas, all 14 of those gallon ones. And I'm going to put them somewhere out in the ground somewhere. They're not going to stay in that, but I wanted to get them started. That's the rain in the past week. So we've gotten several inches. So the spaghetti squash seems to be all doing well. The watermelons, and of course got the turnips growing around these two. And turnips there. The Brussels sprouts. The fifth one didn't come up in this, but I know, wrong time of year. The green onions are doing well. These are the mixed gladiolas that I got from the other ones, I guess. No, there it is. That one's coming up late, but there should be another one there. The turnips. I'm going to cut some of the greens and take it to the chickens. And the corn. I lost one. I wonder if something came and dug that out. But it's just an experiment to see if they'll grow in these tubs. And the turmerics are doing really well. And this is the salad mix. Bought the old seeds did not germinate at all, but you can see the red leaf lettuce coming up. And over here, well, guess that one came up kind of late. Purslane. I've got purslane in a lot of stuff, the older stuff. See, that one looks like it died on me. But we'll see how that does. And this is easy weeding. That one may need to get staked. Like I said, the rain really beat them down. And the Korean melons are doing well inside. This one I'm starting to do the hugelkultur. I was emptying one of the previously used gallon strawberry containers, and it had ants in it, so I drowned it. So some of that water is from where I drowned that initially. So I'm going to fill that up with some wood before I start putting in more soil. The elephant ears are doing nicely. They definitely like their new container. But the okra's in there too. Kind of shielded them from a lot of the beat down. So, oh, that one's down. Hot pepper and purslane. One hot pepper came up. Still no flower from this bush. And we have two harvests from that perilla and some of these. And we found that if we mix the two leaves together, these aren't good on their own, and they're kind of small. Maybe I'll cook with them. And no flowers yet from this container. That has really come up. It's done nicely. And that's still just in water. I've not watered out here in several days. And we had the bloom. Oh, not looking so good now. Here's a picture of it. But oh, some more flowers coming up. I've had flowers in here. This is the dahlia. And I put okra in there too, because they make pretty flowers. But I'm raising the okra for raw pods. We like to eat them raw. There's something really refreshing. It's not slimy. If you hadn't tried it, don't go ooh. If I think a lot of people just can't handle the texture of the okra when it's used in gumbos. They don't notice it, but like in stewed okra, I get kind of grossed out by the slime trails lifting the spoon out. But the texture, mouthfeel isn't that bad. But raw okra doesn't have the sliminess to it. And here's one of the tomatoes that I took a sucker from this Cherokee Purple. And that's definitely purslane. And the basil's coming up. I'm not going to thin them. I'm just going to let them grow. And let's see if there's any worms, caterpillars, pests. So far it seems to be doing good. It's flowering. I don't know of any actual, yeah, it's lost some stuff there. Something munching on it? I don't know. Yeah, something ate that. So I need to get my gloves and come out here and do a hunt. But I took 3 cuttings off of it, and amazingly, I kept them in water and I didn't see any root growth, but there has to be some now. And here's a second and third. I forgot this is a weed. I'll pull that out. But it's got some basil growing in there too. Looks like all the basil seeds got washed out to that side, but you can see them all underneath. Here's okay, I'll confess. This is in a previous video you saw one ripening yellow pear, and those are the little ones. And I just went to touch it just to see it better. There's another one, hadn't even started turning color yet. But when I went to touch it, it fell into my hand. It just dropped off. It was ripe. And I put it in my mouth without thinking. I ate it. Did not split it. I mean, he doesn't know. My husband doesn't know I did that. I'm so selfish. He's guilty of doing stuff like that too, so he'll get the next one, I promise. Or I'll feel really guilty. The yellow kiwi has not come up. I need to sprout them inside. My oregano didn't come up, old seeds. As much as I wanted to keep to the prettier pots and even thinking about fixing this one, I may still do it. I decided to go ahead and use some of these containers. And I did fence in the back part. But the chickens have not flown into this, even though they go right by it. They've not noticed it. They've not pecked at any of these. And over here I started some buttercup squash, which we like that. Here's some Italian serpent gourds, or I put some seeds in here after I soaked them. Korean pear, which I doubt that'll come up. Asian pear, the apple-looking pears. And moringa. Holy. I may get a moringa. That will, if these come up, they'll get transplanted when they're established. So, and you can see the hugelkultur that was in this in the previous video. You saw that, hopefully. And this, they're doing nicely. They seem to like. Well, tomatoes love containers, so that's a easy thing. And I want a lot of Cherokee purples to eat. And we got a strawberry. Got several. But they're adjusting to the transplant. They're recovering from being transplanted. And again, everything goes from when I clean up and then I do something else and things get built up again. Trying to get things moved around. So, let's see. So I want to train some peas. And the rest of the peas didn't come up, so I put some cucumbers in there too. So 2 of the cucumbers came up. I'm excited. I still got to take apart that gladiola. There's 5 plants in there. And I thought I lost that chestnut, but it's definitely making a recovery. I need to get some more topsoil, more of that stout ollie. And you can see I put the eggs. And what I've started doing is eggs that I can just wipe off, that I've got from the coops, if I can just wipe them off and they're clean, just take a paper towel, wipe it off, I'll put them into my egg cartons, and the ones that doesn't wipe off clean, and some are very obvious they're not going to, they come into the garden. It looks like I may have lost all of my witch hazel. I think I still have some Kentucky coffee trees have survived, and wild persimmons. I've lost all the wild plums. Oh, it's a mess. I don't even want to go further. I don't know what that is. I need to get that tree identified, but it's going to have to come down. It's way too close to the house. So we've been discussing making a ramp going all the way down to this side, because we got some people with mobility issues that we like having visit. And this is a sassafras, and the only one I know of on our property. This one did have some berries, but we didn't time it right, or it was very dried. So service berries, lots and lots of wild blackberries. And the bees have come back. Oh, now there's ants in there. That's not good. The ants may have taken their larvae. Because fire ants are carnivores. I don't know if people realize that. So they found them, and it's kind of sad to see, because I'd rather have the bees than any fire ants. Oh. See what these native bees have to contend with. Oh, looks like we got some grapes coming in. So I thought I'd get this video in while I had a chance between rains and getting out there to the chickens. And we're back to the pecans. So the goal is to get these planted whenever my husband can get the backhoe out and dig some holes up and just get them into the ground. This is their last year in the buckets, and want them somewhere close to the house and some out in the woods like we did with the chestnuts. And more cleaning. Hadn't gotten to this. So I'm really happy about how this is all working out. I'm wondering if that's where an egg collapsed. I shouldn't have two over there. But how things are settling. There's no wood under these. But I'm excited to see how things go. Thanks for joining me. Be a blessing and be blessed.